John Osborne here. Let's do the FX Education Outlook for June 21st, 2017. We'll start by looking at our bullish watch list, and first we have the pound yen. You can see that we went up and couldn't break above this previous pivot here in the last couple of days, and we've gone all the way down to test this previous trend line that we broke here. So we are looking pretty strong, and the test is pretty much right on the money there. So you can see this really big move up here on the 4-hour chart that showed quite a bit of strength bouncing off this bottom line. So watch for this to go higher, especially after doing this retest that we saw here. For the euro pound, we went down after breaking up through the previous pivot back here. We went down to retest back to the green center line on the Bollinger Band, and now we're moved all the way back up to the red upper line and tested that. So we'll have to see if it can break higher. We're still struggling to break above the 0.88509, which is above this resistance point here. It's still off the chart for a little bit. So yeah, we're going to be just right in this area. So let's see what happens as that one struggles to go higher. The Kiwi yen had this long run up here, so it's not surprising to see this consolidation channel forming. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate this previous pivot here as part of that channel, but if we don't, and just go back to this one, you can see that we pretty much already in this 1 4-hour bar moved almost the entire range of the consolidation channel. So it could be a big move one way or the other. It looks like on a shorter term it wants to head lower, but we're still positive and bullish in our daily and our weekly. In the Aussie yen, you can see we're still trying to break above this trend line here. We're struggling and losing strength here. So now we're actually bearish and looking pretty strongly bearish, and we might take this out of being in bullish stance pretty soon here, unless it can get its act together and start moving up on the daily. It's really struggling trying to climb that weekly line, as we've been watching for the last several weeks. For the dollar yen, you can see we're trying to break this newly formed line here, and this would be a break if it went straight up from here, about 111.7 or so. And we're really still watching to see if we can continue the move back up above 111.703. We already broke it by a little bit, so it should be weak enough to go through it, and this could be a good entry for getting in there potentially. For the Aussie US dollar, you can see that that's in our pending bullish mode, and it's got to break above this line, so it's really losing quite a bit of steam here. It dropped below these pivots, so I don't have a lot of faith that this thing's going to follow through, and it's just going to maybe keep continuing inside of the weekly pennant pattern until we get a little bit further down the road. For the bearish side, we've got the pound Canadian dollar, the pound loonie. It's pulled back quite a bit here. We've seen that with a couple of things. This might be due to just weakness in the loonie. So let's see if this will continue to move lower. We're still looking bearish on our weekly and our daily. And for the euro loonie, similar thing. Just a nice, really strong move up. We've broken through 3 previous pivots. So I think what we're going to do is see if we can get a new higher low, and if we do, then we'll have to consider ourselves being at the bottom of a little bit of a trend here, and that we're going to resume a bit of an uptrend. So let's keep an eye on that one. We might take that one out of bearish mode pretty soon. And you can see with the dollar Swissy that we were watching, we went right down and tested this pennant, bit of a pennant pattern that we have here. But we are looking to see if we can break through that. I'd wait until we can get below this trend line right here, and that would be somewhere around 0.9676 or so. And you can see how we're just struggling to figure out what we want to do after breaking out of this pennant, and it's looking like it does want to go lower in spite of this little bit of a move up here that we've had for the past couple of weeks. So let's watch what happens there. And that'll do it for today. Remember to subscribe by clicking on the picture to the right, and the picture on the left will bring you to the previous recording. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.